Just, yeah, remember, enjoy yourself, enjoy this journey, guys. You don't have to be perfect with this. This is about a constant evolution, so keep enjoying the journey, keep trying to be a little bit better than yesterday, and then striving to be better the day after that. Okay, what I suggest you do, remember, is always plan. So you plan your first 3 meals now of the day, so breakfast, lunch, dinner are planned every single week. A day that you can put aside, or an hour or two on one of the days a week you can put aside, or even every 3 days, plan for the following 3 days, something like that. You write your meals down that you're going to have, involve the family in this, write your shopping list on the back of that piece of paper, and then when you do your shopping you can file those meals and that shopping list away in your nice little plastic folder, and then you can go and grab them whenever you like. And once you build up a selection of those, you just go to shopping list and you can grab them. You know that the meals are going to be shopped for, and you can prepare them with your family. Cook extra and for use as lunch, etc., and dinner the next day maybe. And all the strategies that we spoke about in the previous lessons, remember, just keep revisiting these videos and try and get this nailed, guys. Just keep improving with it, okay? Alrighty, I'm going to just touch on a few other things now. So, as most of you would know, I'm a 100% plant-based athlete. So I don't have any animal products whatsoever, haven't done for a number of years. We do promote a meat-free Monday for you guys. We do ask you to maybe jump on board with that. And look, research is quite clear that eating too much animal products, too many animal products, too much animal protein is not healthy for you at all, regardless of what some some followers or advocates will have you believe. The research is quite clear, it isn't healthy for you. I'm not saying that you have to go 100% plant-based, but you would certainly benefit from having more meat-free days. And you think about it this way, guys, this is not trying to get all evangelical on you, but again, your health will benefit from having more meat-free days. The health of your family will benefit. Certainly the health of the animals would benefit, and the health of the planet. And again, do your research, I urge you. And it is a huge cost on the environment how we really over-farm and try and produce animal products for the masses. Okay, so have more meat-free days, you will benefit. And the beauty of that plant-based meals, plant-based, following a whole food plant-based diet, is a lot more calorie dilute anyway, so we tend to be able to endure more food, more volume of food, less fat gain, more athleticism, more strength, better mood. It's just a real no-brainer, guys. Okay, we're going to touch on a few little strategies now, which is these are always things which flag up for people. And you're starting or really trying to nail a healthier way of eating. You will hit snags maybe when you're on holiday, maybe when you're traveling, maybe when you're traveling with work, social engagements, maybe invited with friends at dinner, even at work, and just questions that arise from friends, colleagues, co-workers, how you can deal with those. Well, here's some of my strategies. I believe, if you're going out to dinner with friends, don't be one of the sheeple. Don't be a follower. Sometimes you need to step and be a leader. Actively choose the restaurant that you are going to dine in. And you may have to do a little bit of research beforehand, but I'm not saying that you have to demand where you're eating, but you may have a few places that you've researched, maybe you've gone in and dined in on your own, that you know can cater to your more healthier pattern of eating. And then, you have those few options and you suggest them to your friends. Another one is, obviously, when you travel, and this is something that I've mentioned many times in videos and to the groups in the past, that when I travel, I know where I'm going to be staying. I actually Google restaurants, and for me they'll be plant-based restaurants. So I Google vegetarian, vegan restaurants or vegan options in the area where I'm going to stay. And Google's fantastic, for that. This is the age of the internet, and we can really get a lot of information in a second. And I always build a little folder up, a little manila folder and I print out the various locations of restaurants that I can maybe choose. And I spend 10 minutes doing that. Okay, and that gives me an option. The other thing is, if I am traveling and I'm in a hotel room, and obviously I may be having a meal out and so forth, and I've Googled the restaurants, the cafes, etc. I can make the best choice I'm able to. But otherwise, some hotel room staples for me, especially if I've got a fridge. Hotel room staples would be some whole rolled oats, maybe trail mix and fruit, and obviously my plant-based milks, whether it be soy milk, oat milk, rice milk, etc. And I can always make myself a muesli type meal. Okay, obviously nuts, seeds, again quite calorie dense, but I can eat them more sparingly and add fruit to it for snacks. And I'm not saying it's ideal, but I've travelled around Australia for near on 12 months, and I survived a plant-based diet like that. Some days I was having peanut butter sandwiches and bananas and apples, and I used to buy a big, say 2-3 kilo bag of apples, nuts and seeds and bags of bananas, and go for days like so, and then maybe get a meal in the evening at a good healthy cafe or restaurant. It's easily done if you choose to do it that way. Okay, so again, they're your choices. These are the things that the choices that you've got to make, you've got to decide. If you are sort of unprepared, you're in a restaurant that you don't know whether they are catering to your choices, whether it be plant-based or whether it just be a healthier choice. Hey, as I've always said to you, ask for clarification. And another thing, if it's a local restaurant and they don't cater for you, don't go back again. You're the paying customer. Do not have to apologise for asking them if they can steam you some vegetables. If they can, instead of deep frying them, if they can steam you some, if you can ask for the sauce or the salad dressing on the side, so you don't have to have your meal doused in it. And again, most restaurants that I know of, that I've been in, will cater for you. And you can make light of it as well, make a joke of it. Remember, it's fundamental to communicate with another human being. It's okay to ask them. And if they say no, if they're funny with you, like I say, you don't have to go back. But there's always a way around it. The other thing is as well, remember, we have got this 90-10 rule. Your body will deal with a certain amount of toxicity. It will deal with a certain amount of bending the rules every now and again. So as long as you're scheduling one of your dining out meals as a 10% meal, then hey, go for that creamy pasta sauce if you want to, okay? And enjoy it guilt-free. All right, that does mean, like I say, generally, 3-4 times a week. It does not mean 3-4 times a day. Okay. I also feel that this is maybe a generalisation, but I feel that quite often Asian restaurants have a lot of options. Certainly for me, more vegetarian options. Quite often they do a lot of steaming as well, and if you can ask them, I know of several, probably half a dozen Asian restaurants in this area that I live in Mornington, who actually have, when I ask them to stir fry my vegetables, I ask them not to stir fry in oil, I ask them to stir fry in a bit of vegetable broth, and they do, and it comes out beautiful. So again, ask them, you develop a relationship with them, and they know you're coming back, they keep you happy, why wouldn't they do it? I also, Italian and Mexican quite often have good options. It depends though, some of them are, you do have to ask. Some will, quite often use more of a traditional Italian or Mexican restaurant rather than the sort of fast foody type. The more traditional type will generally cater to your requirements. Okay, a few guidelines for you there anyway. Hope that helps.